Here is Suhas with his question. Suhas is the most studious boy of our class and has achieved many state ranks in various exams. He is also a very good musician.
Thank you, Harisampar. Sir, during the pandemic period, I have seen many policemen on the street being abused, though they are risking their lives to save the people. So, I would like to ask you this question, sir. Could you please speak about the evolved role of a police officer during this pandemic period?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Subhas. Thank you so much for that beautiful question. Not just in during pandemic times, even generally also a constable on road is abused. And it is not to say that the constable on the road is always behaving himself properly, but that does not really mean that he should be abused. Before I answer about COVID times, role of a police officer during COVID times, there will be people who will be coming to my chamber and they will be felicitating me and they will be too respectful towards me. And I will tell every single one of them, including the MLAs, MPs, ministers, everybody, I'll tell the same thing to them. That, sir, you need not be that respectful towards me. Just be respectful towards the constable who is standing on the road. Because he is not a constable. He is not just a constable who is standing there and performing his duties. He is my representative on the road. He is the representative of the superintendent of police who is standing on the road. Yes, if he does something wrong, you please bring it to the notice of his superiors. We will be very strict with him. We will take necessary action against him. We will suspend him. We will dismiss him. Whatever it is, we will do as per the established procedures of the law. But you should not mistreat or ill-treat a constable on the road because he is not just a constable. If you ill-treat or mistreat a constable, it is as good as mistreating the SP himself. And it is as good as mistreating the DGP himself. Because I cannot be personally present at every nook and corner of Nellore district. So I depute on my behalf some constables, some head constables, some sub-inspector of police, some inspector of police, somebody to go and do that job, for which I am responsible. Having said that, there have been also occasions where our police personnel they do not behave properly, and probably this coupled with the colonial legacy. Traditionally police was not supposed to serve the society. Police force, which was created by the British during British times, it was not created to aid or help the public. It was created to exploit the public. It was supposed to be the muscle of the British to keep the public under control, to crush rebellions and to crush any dissent. It was for that purpose initially that police force was created, but then subsequently after we got independence, the very purpose of police force got changed, and rightfully so. Now police is not supposed to be a bad force. It is supposed to be supposed to serve the public. But the colonial legacy continued. The colonial mindset continued, not just among the police department, but also in the public, where public, frankly speaking, they do not foresee police as a friendly force. Now, coming back, Subhash, to your question, that the role of a police officer during the times of pandemic has been absolutely critical. Absolutely critical. There are only 3 departments which were classified as frontline departments by the Honorable Prime Minister of India. And they were the medical and health, the police, and the municipal sanitation department. Because we were at the forefront. We cannot afford not to be in the field. We cannot afford not to be seen. We cannot afford. Every other department ran away. Every single department, including revenue, Panchayati Raj, every single department, they just fled away when the COVID struck. And they said that we are also having families. I am also having a kid. I am also having a wife. Why should I come to the office? Why should I be on the road? Because if I become a career that my parents get sick, my family suffers. So they all came up with nice little excuses and they just vanished. So it was tough, and I take pride in the fact that Indian police force rose up to the challenge and they were able to perform. And I have no qualms of the fact that, in saying the fact that this COVID came under control primarily because, yes, medical health, sanitation departments off, but also because of selfless sacrifices made by the police department. I hope I have answered your question, Subhas.
Yes, sir. Hearing it from you, We now understand what it is really like to be in your shoes. Thank you very much once again, sir, for your services.
Thank you, Suhas, and all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Namaste everyone, I am Suhas of grade 10. Now, I am going to share my experience about the Roundtable Conference. I am extremely happy to be a part of this carefully planned and skillfully executed group evaluated meeting with Mr. Bhaskar Bhushan, Superintendent of Police, Nellore District, under the chairmanship of our beloved Director Ma'am. My parents felt extremely delighted when they came to know that I would be interacting with Mr. Bhaskar Bhushan. It was a great opportunity to interact with Mr. Bhaskar Bhushan, the hero of the day. I felt extremely blessed and excited to be the first person to ask the question. As this was my first interaction with a celebrity, I prepared and practiced well with our school staff. I asked my question confidently, and that moment will be cherished by me as one of the best moments of my life. The keynote speaker answered my question patiently and beautifully explained the life of a policeman during this pandemic period. The day went on so happily and interestingly as the keynote speaker gave answers to different questions. This session gave me more confidence to participate in future. We learned so many interesting things from our guest, who is also a good sports person. The rehearsals for this session were conducted very well by our principal ma'am and Pradeep sir. We discussed as a group, followed all the suggestions given by our school staff, and also shared our views about the interaction. I feel proud to be a Rainbowite, as our school staff told us that people assembled for a meeting will not participate merely because they are assembled. Participation is not so simple a process. Most people have to learn how to participate. As they also say, things end, but memories last forever. I thank Rainbow School for giving me this wonderful opportunity to gain a wonderful and memorable experience, and also the opportunity to share the experience with you all.